Hey y'all, welcome back to my garden. So I'm on my veggie patch right now. These are black-eyed peas that I started growing. I didn't think that the cucumbers had taken, but they have. And I have one Armenian cucumber growing in right here. And so I'm happy about that. This is Sugar Baby watermelon. I've never grown this before, so we'll see how that kind of turns out. I shelled and, well, I hulled a bunch of these black-eyed peas today. Got a decent amount out of them. Of course, I don't even know if I like them because I've never tasted them before. But here's my okra patch. This is a rogue plant, but my okra patch is actually right in here. And I have one gladiola that came and populated itself right in the middle here. So anyway, that's beautiful. So I've gotten so many of these okra off of these plants. It's unreal. Yesterday I made them for, well, it was the second time, but I tried roasting them yesterday, and I really found that that way I liked much better than breading. But I am going to try a different way of breading this next time. So we'll see how that all turns out. This is collards right here. I've had these collards in here for quite some time, and pretty soon I'm going to be trying to plant in a few more because I think these are kind of dwindling down. Like, I think they're about on their way out, and collards are really more of a winter crop, but these did really well over the summer. Maybe it's because it got the shade from the okra. I'm not sure. This is a kumquat tree. This plant bed, I just planted out with lettuce on both sides. So there's romaine over here, then there's butter crunch on this side. Then I got spinach growing on this side and this side, and there are three different varieties. A Noble here, the America here, and then this one over here is Bloomsdale. I haven't marked that one yet. I'm trying to grow beets for the very first time, but I'm not like the biggest beet lover in the world, but I wanted to juice it because I thought maybe everybody talks about how wonderful they are in juices, but this whole bed, I just seeded it out and nothing has popped up yet, but it's only been 2 days, so we got to give it, give it some time. So, and I got kale over here, and I just did this little section. These are more gladiolas. They haven't gotten big like that one yet has. And then these are more okra. They're just popping up all over the place. I must have been not so careful with those seeds when I was messing around with them. Anyway, I've got my portulacas right here. This is actually a miracle berry. Supposed to be really good for cancer patients. So if you lose your taste buds when you're going through the cancer process, this produces like a fruit, and it gives you more sugar back to things. So you can also get this in powder form. So anyway, it is very interesting. You might want to look into that if you know anyone is going through the cancer situation, and that would help them out with trying to taste some things and get some of their taste back. Anyway, we've got peppers over here. This one is a banana pepper. I let it go too long. Usually people pick them when they're in the yellow stage, so like this. And then I seeded some carrots in here, but nothing has popped up yet. And this is basil. Then this is my big experiment with black-eyed peas. Now I took a couple like black-eyed peas from the store and took some of those and put them in this bed, and you never know if you do something like that whether or not it's going to be the bush variety or if it's going to be the vining variety. But clearly it's the vining variety, and it's just gone gangbusters. So I'm going to figure out how to cook that and try it for the first time, but I understand that it's kind of like collards and the way that you make them with hand hocks and stuff. So I figured when I go to make the collards, I'll just put some black-eyed peas in there, and then I'll have like 2 bangs for the buck. That's how I figure, and I figured it would work like that, and maybe I'd be pleased. So then we get to this little shade garden area. This is kind of like Raiders of the Lost Ark, it reminds me of, because of the face. Really love this little area. I really investigated out like what kind of plants do really well in the shade garden areas, and these did remarkably well. So once this bunny cage is gone, then I'll be moving this plant to that location and put some more flowering things in front. The begonias love it here. So I'm enjoying that. I love those Xanadu, but I accidentally put them on the border of an area where it was just out of the shade, and like the sun scorched the heck out of it. But as you can see, this is the one where it got scorched because you can see the leaf. But it's doing well after I realized what had happened. One of my very favorite plants in this garden is tractor seed, and I just love the shape of it. The waxiness of it is just beautiful, and I love it. I've got canna lilies that I put in here because I don't like looking at the stalks of things sometimes, so I kind of planted in a bunch of canna lilies in here. And this tree I've been searching, I had searched out for the longest time, and I finally found one thanks to somebody who's watching my videos. And I happened to mention that I was going to be going to the Orlando area, and I had zero luck finding it in my area. And they told me where I might be successful finding it, and sure enough, I found one. It's an Australian fern tree, and I just love it. It's got to stay in the shade though, so where I had put it originally, I didn't think it got enough shade, so I kind of moved it over here in the meantime, and it may move from here. You can still see that it's in a pot, so the jury's out, but we'll see. I've got hydrangeas in here. You know, they're like right on the verge of where the shade and the sun starts, so they're kind of, I'm not sure. Well, the jury's out on whether or not this is going to be a good spot for them and stuff. We'll see how it goes once I get to the point where you know, the weather changes and it's nice and cool. I put some coleus back here, and I got a rose bush there, but it's just a, you know, a bare root and hasn't grown yet, but I just put it in the ground. This is a cherry tree. This is an ice cream banana. I haven't put that in the ground yet, and I'm trying to figure out if this is where it's gonna go or not, but I do have other bananas right in here. Nothing's produced any bananas yet, but I'm very hopeful. I gotta tell you, 9B, for a border bush, this Mexican heather just loves the heat. I've not had one issue, and the bees just love it. I also really love this Evolvulus in the beach balm blue. I'm thrilled with that. Now, the flowers in here look a little peaked right now. It hasn't rained in a little bit, so I got to start watering this, and I actually need to run drip irrigation through it. So, but I really love the snow on the mountain bushes back in the backdrop. When it breezes through here, everything kind of wisps its way like that. And the wispiness beyond this, that's exactly what I wanted for behind the statue, because I just wanted you know, something that was wispy in the backdrop behind her. So I was really pleased with that, and if you can see it from this angle, it's amazing how much this has grown in. Like, the Texas sage looks really pretty, but I realized, like, the shallowness of this bed, like, some of these plants I'm gonna have to start trimming back because of the fact that they're like, you know, you don't really get to see the stuff in the middle as much because it's grown in so much. I've got this is it produces limes and lemons. It's called a fruit cocktail tree, and this is the best it's ever done. I contribute that to the mulch that is around it and by cutting it back a little bit, and it's growing way better. Right here is a Florida Prince peach tree. We'll see how that goes. Oh, I kind of skipped over the Dorset apple. It's really small right now. It's kind of lanky, so I'm hoping that thing will do much better. And I also skipped over this apple tree here. This is an Anna apple, and I had a bloom on it, but for whatever reason, I don't see the bloom on it anymore. I'm really hoping that'll end up doing well. We're supposed to have a really cool weather, really have some nice cool weather for the winter this year. So we'll see how that goes. I got some hostas in here. These are sun hostas. And they're supposed to be doing really well in this area, so we'll see about those. And then I've got some sunflowers in here. See how pretty they are? They're nice. The petals are really nice and velvety. And this is kind of grown in quite a bit. I got Goyardia here. This is Mystic Blueberry, and so is that one. And that's blackberries back there. We actually got some blackberries this year, and I think they get progressively better as the years go by. So we'll see. So this is the plant beds from down the line. I do have to go through here and maintain some of it a little bit. Some of it's, kind of waning a little bit. This is my Mexican section of my garden. Now, the Rockin' the Blue salvia is looking really leggy back here, so I know I'm gonna have to get some drip irrigation in here for this, which I told my husband that, but he was like, well, let's just try it out by hand watering it and stuff like that. But clearly that's not working. It's gonna need consistent watering, and I think it's gonna need more than what we can do by hand. So it's like I got Dia de la Muerta and a Mexican section of my garden here, and I really like the colorfulness of it and the way that it's all grown in. It's like a Mexican / tiki garden. So you can see these are tikis right there, and I really love that. My mom painted this because when it came in, the coloring in it wasn't that great, so I wanted to make it a little bit more vibrant, and she did a really great job of that. This is a plumeria, and the flowers on it are yellow. Oh, I skipped over this plant over here. This is a plum tree right here, and then I actually skipped over this one too. This is a pineapple pear tree. So those are very small. We just got them this year, and we'll see how they come in. Not had anything off of them yet, but there are small trees, and there's a bunch of Goyardias in here. And then I got another hosta back there. You see, I have to clip back all that salvia over there. It's just not looking real great in here, but I'm sure it's because of the fact that it really needs drip irrigation. So I got Mexican petunias in here. I don't have them in the ground because I did have them in the ground, but then I heard that they can become invasive, and I really didn't want that happening. So I potted them up. This is a guava, the kind. And she's like, well, do you want to make pastries? Because, you should get the kind that makes or the guava tree that has a really, is really good for pastries. And I said, well, that's fine. So anyway, that's guava. Hasn't produced anything yet, but it's a small tree. So we'll see. I painted this year, but all of the paint seems to be chipping off of it, so I'm gonna have to find a better way to, if I want to paint a spool to where the paint will stay on it. So if you guys have any suggestions for me, I'm all ears. Here is some more okra. I mean, the okra does so well in the summer, and it has been hot as Hades. So I've been really pleased with it this year. Gotten a lot out of it, and I am learning how to cook it in different ways. So the best way that I have found so far is just roasting it with some extra virgin olive oil with a bunch of seasoning. You just cut it lengthwise, and You just roast it in the oven on 350 for about an hour, and it tastes wonderful. And it's supposed to be really good for, I guess, high blood pressure. So so that's good for those of you that have high blood pressure. You might want to try a little okra, especially if you live in the South, because it's very heat loving plant. So it's just a labor of love over here with the plant situation. I got rosemary right here. This is actually an avocado tree, but I have to put it in the ground. I actually had one avocado on it before, but it just, I don't know what's going on. Like right now, it's not dead, but it's not really having any leaves on it either. So I don't know. I think maybe if I put it in the ground, it'll have a better chance of producing a little bit more. That's another miracle berry I gotta get, and then that's a cherry bush, so I gotta get that in the ground as well. Anyway, we're gonna move off to the pool area. Some of the stuff in here, this is coleus. I got another variety of coleus there. So this is the inside of the pool cage. Got a rubber tree over there. It's looking really good. I love this variety of coleus. It's so pretty. It's just so fall. Got such nice fall interest to it. And look at that. I've always loved this plant. So anyway, that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed my tour around the garden. And next is going to be I'm going to be working on a new section of my garden at some point, and it'll be over here. We plan to extend that fence out a little bit further, and then I'm gonna have like a little Zen garden area. So this will be in it, that'll be in it, that'll be in it, and then I've got like some statues here and there. So that's going to be interesting to get that kind of put together, but I'm in the collection stage of that project, so we'll see how it goes. This is like really mud bogged area. It fills up with water all the time, so I think we're gonna have to add some more soil into here, kind of level this out a little bit so it's not so mud bog filled. So we'll see how that all transpires. So stay tuned, guys. It's a work in progress, and I just love it. And eventually we're gonna get this fountain moving along. We still have to put the basin underneath it and then plumb it out and figure out what we're gonna do in terms of, do we want a basin or do we want to put the reservoir with the rocks? And so the jury's on this. If you guys want to make a suggestion to me as what you think would look better, the reservoir with the rocks on top of it spills over and onto some rocks, or should it be in a pool with, you know, inside of a like a elevated sides, and kind of, I think the elevated sides thing will be a lot less maintenance, but and then the rocks will be a little bit more organic. So let me know what you think, and thanks for watching.